Okay, now that we've got the outer features sort of taken care of, and we've gone over all the little different things, we'll go to the inside. On the inside, we've got our Hori fight stick that we cut out of the original fight stick casing and built a new wooden shelf for, and sort of got everything in there. We actually held the arcade stick in place with a couple of plumbing clamps that we just cut in half with a pair of wire snips, drilled a hole through, and screwed into the wood so that we could screw the two halves together and they would tighten to clamp on. So that way, if it ever needs to have any parts replaced, we can just unscrew these clamps, pop the new sensor in there, and it's done. You'll also notice we have the square gate. I'm partial to it. Some people prefer 8-way gates, and if they do, that's fine. You just go grab your favorite 8-way gate or your Dremel, and you can modify the square gate from the Hori sticks. If you'll bring the camera in here, you'll see we've got the Optima Project 301 PK301 projector. This is the only Pico projector I would use for something like this, just because of the brightness. It's fantastic brightness. That is the iPad hookup dock hooked up to the PK301 there. And we've got the speakers from the PK301 hooked up to the PK301. So we get audio through AVI, and then audio gets passed then through the stereo cable to the speakers. You can also just run the speaker cord directly to the dock, or you could split the inputs on the Optimo projector and run one from the dock and one from the AVI cables, or any number of other things that you can think of to do with different levels. But the speakers are on the very bottom. They're velcroed in place with a small shelf to hold the projector above them, which gives a nice sort of echo effect coming through this chamber. This was sort of built to slightly mimic some of those other acoustic docks that I've seen for speakers and some speaker box construction in the past. So I tried to just replicate that a little bit with my shelf so that the acoustics would be improved a little, and that actually seemed to work fairly well. But that's the iPad dock. It charges it, as well as it takes about 3 plugs. You don't have to look at the plugs, they're ugly, but about 3 plugs. One if you want to power the projector, but you don't have to have a plug for the projector because it has a battery built in. You can charge it, pop it in there, and use it as you see fit. There's also the power cord for the speakers, which has to be plugged in if you want to have speakers, unless you get expensive battery powered speakers. I've never heard of battery powered speakers. I don't think anyone else has outside of a boom box. And the iPad charger, which comes attached to the AVI cable. So that's all, and let me know what you think on the website. Leave a few comments and I'll get around to it. Pretty soon I'm going to be releasing a how-to video on how to build one of these, and I'm sure that you guys will love it because it was super simple, very, very straightforward. Thanks.